All right, so what's going on? I want to start off with a true story about myself. It's not embarrassing because, I've been able to move past it. So that we already getting into, the goods where nothing is ever embarrassing if you make a commitment to move past it. So where you are, your current financial status, your current knowledge in trading, your current results, it's not embarrassing if you are committed to moving past it. So you got to decide, which one is more important, your future or your feelings, right? And no pun intended, we see futures or feelings, like your choice. All right. So when I was this was several many moons ago, right? For those who don't know, I used to play college football. That environment was intense, always competitive. A lot of alpha males, a lot of testosterone, a lot of competition, a lot of consistently pushing one another. And my coach used to say, "Hey, when we break this huddle, when you graduate, like understand this right here is a bubble. This is the country club," he used to call it. Like he like out like the campus is a country club, but right here is a bubble. Everybody's not going to think like you. Everybody's not going to think like you. So I remember during college, we used to eat six times a day, literally. You would have breakfast, right? We would work out, get a snack. Our snack was a Chick-fil-A meal, right? Something like that. You had like pizza, something like that, right? Then you would have lunch. That's already 3 meals a day. Then you work out or have practice or whatever the case may be, get a snack after that, bam, dinner, and then late night snack at like 10. We would eat 6 times a day. Well, nobody ever told me that, cool, even though you stop playing football, your stomach is still used to eating 6 times a day. It's just now you're not moving around like you used to. Now you're not burning 2,000, 3,000 calories in practice every day. So when I got to my mid 20, I would say probably about 26, 20, like 26, as a matter of fact, it's 2016. I had went from 225 pounds to around 280. And it was a 280 where I was drinking Fireball whiskey. I was going out Wednesday through Sunday. I was just living, I wasn't living my best life. My skin was looking all crazy. I wasn't going to professional barbershop. I was lining myself up. Here's the crazy thing, saving money, lining myself up, but I'm spending money on a gallon of Fireball whiskey and I'm out in the clubs. And then look, I'm still wearing the same polos and shirts that I got in college when I was 220 pounds. So imagine how that looked. Now, why didn't this shock me out of my current reality, right? Why did it, what was really happening, shock me out of my current reality? Because I was still moving around. I was still pulling girls. Every night that I would go out, I would get several new numbers. I would close deal. I was doing all of that stuff, right? And I was working a job that was paying me. So it wasn't forcing me to look at my habits. I could just go to work, be the trash person that I was being, and still get paid, still know I could call up such and such, still know that she was gonna da da da. Because the way I look, like I just like a big football player. So the girls used to be like, "Oh, I like that. I don't like no man where I can see his ribs. Oh, I like because my arms are big, my chest poked out. Oh, I like a little belly. I like this, that, and the third." So me being away from that environment of A plus players and being around people who did what? Prioritize my feelings. Their feelings were strong enough, right? Their opinions were strong enough to make the feelings override the facts in my view. The point was, I was still morbidly obese. I was still snoring when I sleep. I gained 50, 60 pounds, and that's not healthy. But because I could still barely function, when I say function, I mean like because I was still functional, because I could still get up and walk and do X, Y, and Z, it made me feel like, okay, this isn't enough to change things for me, right? So I went and kicked it with my boy, my best friend, right? I'm gonna be in his wedding here in a few months. I went and kicked it with one of my best friends, who was also my roommate and my teammate in college. He was like, "Yo, bro, they just offered me the job in Charlotte. I'm gonna be in the city, like it's up. Let's go." So we get ready to link. I pull up to his crib. Now, when I graduated, I wore a size 34 pants. I pull up to his crib with a size 44, 46 corduroys on with an extra large polo. He almost passes out from laughing so hard. He's laughing like I'm talking about tears coming down his eyes. And he's like, bro, what you got going on? Like, look at your hair. Your hairline is crazy. Like, you're supposed to have a mini fro going on. You look wild. Look at your pants. He like the pants. Oh my God. And I was like, whoa, like what's going on? And the funny thing was, if you know anything about football, I played linebacker in college. He played D line. So D line is heavy, but he's in my face and he's about 220. He was about 260 in college, 260, 265. And I was his weight. I was like 220 in college. Here I am, 50, 60 pounds heavier. And he's like, yo, what's going on? And this is what I call a good shame, right? He was like, I still remember to this day, we were getting ready to go out, and he was like, just like, bruh, what? And that moment right there, I snapped out of it because it's like, I've been around just the person, the average person who doesn't want to hold themselves accountable. So they do what they do, and then they look for reasons to rationalize their feelings. Their actions are based off feelings, and then they look for reasons to rationalize those feelings. And so, guess what? Because I had changed my surroundings instead of being around A players who consistently push one another, right? So now I'm around C players, D players who just trying to get through life. They made me feel good about what was going on, even though I knew and where I came from, like I knew better than that, right? And it took some good shaming to be like, you're better than that. What are you doing? So I probably, no joke, probably got drunk that night. Within the next day, I didn't have a sauna suit. I didn't have anything. I cut a hole in a big giant black grocery bag, right? Cut a head hole and two arm holes. Put my hoodie on top of it, and put some jogging pants on. And every day I woke up from 3 to 4 in the morning, and I was like, "Yo, I got to get this off me. I got to get this off me." That's all it took. It didn't take the FAQ. Hey, did you know that if you're overweight, this could happen? Because you know what? I was too deep in my feelings to make a change if I heard it softly. You see what I'm saying? I was too deep in my feelings to make a change, right? If I heard it softly. So I had to get it in a way where I was getting roasted. And he hitting the group chat up like, yo, me and this switch sizes. He over here, he bigger. My boys in the group chat, boy, you like a three technique. You like a nose tackle. You came to school as a DB. Now you out here living like a D lineman. What you got going on? And it was a good shaming, right? That got me out of my feelings and got me right. So from here on out, right, we're going to provide that good shaming that gets you out of your feelings and that gets you right. So you got a choice to make. Are you going to choose where you're going, or are you going to choose the comfort of your past and diluting yourself down to the environment or the people who's around you? That's what we got to make the choice of tonight, right? And it's going to be no more clear than it is after this. All right. So first thing first. All right. Here's the reality. Let's look at all the facts. The reality is $100 billion, right? The stock market reaches $100 billion in transactions daily. All right, just the stock market. So guess who trades the stock market, the U.S. stock market, the New York Stock Exchange? It's primarily just people in the U.S., right, and people who have licenses to trade, international things like that. But it's $100 billion, right? $100 billion in the stock market being traded every day. Right now, on top of that, you think that's a lot in the foreign exchange market because that's traded globally is $5 trillion worth of transactions being made daily. All right. So I want you to think about it and let's get 100% participation right here. What's your money goal? What's your daily money goal? How much money? Matter of fact, what's your monthly money goal? How much money would you like to make per month? How much money would you like to bring in per month, right? What would you like your profit loss? Don't say, oh, I don't want to put no limit on it. Just give me a number if you had to write it down. How much? and type that in the chat. Type it in the chat. All right. All right. Cool. Cool. Okay. Bet. All right. We see a lot of minimum is 5K. All right. A lot of minimum is 5K. I see a lot of people where 5K seems to be a minimum. All right. We got some big numbers coming in now. Now, think about it. When you work your job, right? And be for real. This is reality. This ain't a pissing contest. This is reality. How many hours would it take for you to make 5K, right? On your job? Take and write that down. Let's deal with reality. I just told y'all a story about me that it could be embarrassing, but it's not embarrassing because I made the commitment to move forward from there. How long would it take you? Right? How many hours would it take you? Would it take you at least 40? Would it take you more than 40 hours? Right? There you go. All right. So now it type of one in the chat if it would take you more than 40 hours. All right. Okay. So we see when somebody sets the pace for us, aka we hand over the reins. The thing that we have authority of is the time that we're given, right? We hand those reins over to somebody else. We see the type of pace that they put us on. We're saying it's going to take over 40 hours to make $5,000. So you see in reality where you are when you hand the reins over to somebody else and say, here, I'm going to let you dictate how much money I make. I'm going to let you set the pace, right? It takes over 40 hours. That is an equivalent to that's an equivalent to 25% of our week, right? And for some, it's going to take 80, for some, 160. You see what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. So now, y'all just keep that in mind. Y'all keep that in mind. Somebody else told you, hey, in order for you to make 5K, the way I want you to make 5K,
Stop.
it's going to take you. It's going to take you what? More than 40 hours a week. And that's cool. All right. But here's the thing about the market, right? We just saw some numbers that show us the money is already made. The money is already there. It's going to be $100 billion exchanged tomorrow. It's going to be $5 trillion exchanged tomorrow on Forex. It's going to be 100 billion exchange on the stock market. So everybody in here can make 10x what they said they want to make per month, and still there be enough money for everybody else, all the banks, all the institutions in the world, right? So I need you to switch your mindset. Instead of saying, hey, how much money I want to make, the money is already made. The question is, are you going to get your portion of it? Right? You don't have to try to make it. It's already there. Are you going to come and get your servant? Are you going to come and get your scoop out? Right? How do we get our scoop? We have to choose these three over here, right? PEC. We have to move off of principles. We have to choose principles over emotions, and we'll get into principles in a little bit, right? And understand emotions will lead to your downfall. I didn't say emotions will make you a trash trader. I didn't say emotions will X, Y, and Z. I said emotions will lead to your downfall. When we start making decisions based off of emotion, right? That can be very scary, right? You want your heart and the mind to align on things. But when we start just moving off of emotion, look, emotion can be fear. It can be anxiety. It could be worry. It can be, oh, it's the 29th and I'm thinking about trading because rent due on the first. And I need that rent due, but I need that rent on the first. I need that rent payment on the first. So you're not even coming into the arena with a clear mind because you already have said, hey, look, rent is almost due. So that's what's at the forefront of my mind, right? And then here's the biggest part: contribute to your own success, right? So now here's where we're going to start to really go, ooh, dang, this is the part where Like my homie pulled when I pulled up, how he laughed at me and it made me feel a certain way. Here's the part where you're going to start feeling a certain way, right? But you got to make that decision. Am I gonna let pride get in the way? Because guess what? If you hold on to that pride, you're basically making a commitment to who you were. Meaning, I don't give a dang if at 6:59 p.m. Eastern Standard on today, you were somebody else. This is the new you. This is the new present you. When you get presented with new information, cool. You now you can be held accountable for your past, right? But before you might have operated in ignorance, but now we kick the ignorance out the way. All right. So everybody just told me their goal, and they told me that it takes at least 40 hours for them to make it on the boss's schedule, on the overseer schedule, on the company schedule, on the corporation schedule. So now, when we talk about contributing to your own success, how much time did you put in this weekend between your last trade and this trade? Right? How much, I mean, excuse me, between your last trade and this meeting, right? Whether you took your last trade on Friday or whatever, how much time did you put into filling those knowledge gaps and education gaps? How many hours to make sure you can make that 5K, 10K, 20K, 30K? How much time did you put in? Let's actually type it in the chat. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Let's type it in the chat. How many hours did you put in? All right. 2 hours, right? We see two as the max right now. We see two as the max. So now, if you went to work every day for 2 hours and then left, type in the chat what your boss will say to you at the end of the week. What you think? If you went to work 2 hours every day, then left, what would your boss type in the chat what your boss will say to you at the end of the week? Pack it up. I'm fired. Let you go. Go home and don't come back, right? So, with the 72 hours that we were given, matter of fact, let's just call it 60. Let's say you had half of the day. Let's say you had half of the day on Friday, then look, Saturday, Sunday, right? We're given, matter of fact, I'm gonna cut you some slack. We're given 48 hours. You chose less than 5% of the time, right? 48 hours, if you're doing 2 hours out of 48 hours, you're choosing less than 5% of the time. Meanwhile, our jobs, the boss, work itself takes up 25% of the time. 40 hours out of 168 hours, right? 40 out of 168 hours, which is a typical job, is roughly 25%. So you see how they're willing to tax you for your time, but now that you have the time to yourself, look at the percentage of time that you took to put towards your own goals. Think about that. Think about it. 5% versus 25%. See, I didn't come here and say, oh, you need 8 hours, you need to do this, that, and third. You have 48 hours. So what is 25% of 48 hours? About 12, right? About 12 hours. So now we know at work, a lot of times, unless you're doing like some super duper physical labor, probably 30% of the time at work is just spent. They just want you to be there. They just want you to be there. You can be. You ever had those days? Type of one in the chat where you get to work at 8, you really done by 1:32, and you like these last 3 hours. I'm just like, come on, bro. Type of one in the chat like I'm just here. I'm just hanging out. I done got everything done. We sending memes, we doing this, we doing that, right? So let's say if you did that 5 days a week, now that takes you down to 5 hours a day. 5 hours a day. Let's see, that is 25 hours out of 168. you would now be looking at about 1/7 of your time, about 13%. So still, if we cut 3 hours off of work, that's around 13%, but still nobody has given over 5% of their time to the goal they say they want, to the thing that's going to pay them more than what their job is paying. So we gotta get used to being an A+ player and an A+ team, because an A+ team is full of people who contribute to their success, right? I said this and I meant this. Like, when you've experienced success in whatever field, you know just showing up is not enough. You have to get past the point of where you just want credit for showing up. Oh, I'm gonna stick with it. Like, I have people who will be like, "Oh, my bad, bro, man. I said I was gonna try to come to the meeting." You're not doing me any favors by coming to the meeting, because you still are in the mindset of a C player. A C player is just like, "Oh, my fault, I didn't show up." An A+ player is like, "How can I get better?" Right? How can I get better? And how can I contribute to the team? So we can't contribute to the team if we don't contribute to our own success. There's so much free information already within the LYMG community. We'll have people so comfortable to say, "Hey man, I ain't even watch all the videos, but can you just, I ain't see the part where it was, can you tell me about how much should I start with?" You see what I'm saying? And so here's the thing. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be vulnerable, be transparent, because I'm a people person, because I've seen I've seen like myself come out of situations where people counted me out and stuff like that. And because I've been blessed with a big heart. I've been blessed with, yeah, I believe you. I'm not gonna give up on you. I pacify that sometime and I'll answer the question. "Hey man, yeah, you don't have to watch this 1 hour video, because I understand you just so busy. That hour is just, that 2 hour joint with Romel. Yeah, that's a huge sacrifice, right? That's a huge sacrifice to figure out how to make 142K in a out in a 2 weeks. 2 hours. You see how you think when you have the chance to be at the steering wheel and control your own time, versus how much more productive you are when you are not given the opportunity to control your own time. If they tell you to stay there and work, even though you ain't got to be there, you gonna be there. You gonna miss the kid. Look, you're gonna have to fight through traffic, go pick the kid up from daycare. You're gonna have to do all those things because you want that guaranteed number to add up, right? But you don't think it's worth the risk of watching something for an extra hour, of sitting there and listening to the whole interview, right? Or going and watching that video to see what you can get, right? What you can get from the interview, from the content. It's free now. Literally, it's free. We've given it away in hopes that, hey, we want the A+ players to show up and take advantage of this. I want y'all go keep hearing me say, I want the conversations to be what? Evolving, not revolving. If you are, "Hey man, I had a bad 2 weeks, man. I almost felt like quitting." You're a D- player, because you had a bad 2 years on the job and you're still there. Because you too soft to do something about it. You see what I'm saying? You too soft to do. Everybody's scared out. Who that is? Who's that? Yeah, you too soft to do something about it. So you're gonna do what you gotta do. You're gonna drink what you gotta drink. You're gonna scroll where you gotta scroll. You're gonna laugh when you feel like crying. You're gonna do all of these things because for you to get out of that position, it's gonna take a certain level of consistency that maybe you haven't been exposed to in your everyday life, but you see on your timeline. So that girl, yeah, she got 4 kids and she got a 6 pack, and you're like, "Oh, I could do that." That dude, he came from being homeless and eating out of trash cans to making 7, 8 figures, and you like, "Yeah, I could do that." But instead of you living that, you sit up there looking googly eyed at them. Whereas somebody in your life who's looking at you as their star player, right? It's somebody in your life that's looking at you as their star player and they wishing that you not moving soft. So your conversations about almost quitting, right? We bring that back to the community. We bring that back to the hub. So guess what? Because we got a bunch of good people here at LYMG, guess what we doing? Hey man, just stick with it, man. Things get better. It gets dark before dawn. It gets dark before light. You got to come down before you pull up. You got to water the seeds before you. We talking about that. That's what a team in the lottery does. That's what a team that's hoping that they pick Victor Wembanyama #1 does, right? That's what they do. The great teams are talking about strategy. Hey, I stayed in a little too long on this trade, right? When you become an A+ player, you substitute what? Emotions with execution. You substitute emotions with strategy. So now you're sharing your feelings, and that's all cool, right? But when we decided to become an A+ team, hey, I realized I was up 30% in this trade, and then it tanked. What made it tank? That's A+ talk. You see what I'm saying? Type of one in the chat when you get that. Not, man, I keep on putting, and I get paid Friday, then I put my trade in on Monday, and then I lose it by Wednesday. And I'm just trying to stick with it, man. I'm just trying to stick with it, bro. I'm just trying to stick with it, sis. Oh, my kids got this going on, and they got that, and I'm just trying to. I'm just, it's a thing where it's like that's D minus. That's it ain't no like what do you want to be said? You know what I'm saying? So what happens is a lot of time ends up being spent giving the D minus players Similac and Enfamil because they choose to stay at an infant level versus giving the A+ players steak and shrimp. Right? And I take full accountability for that. Right? I take full accountability for that because I see, hey, this is a day on SPY where it might not move. It might not move up $4, $5. But instead of me sending Demetrius, instead of me sending for Trail for Austin, somebody who just came in and hit their first 1,000 by taking a piece of information that he heard in the mindset meeting and applying it to Tesla, hit his first 1,000 and been compounding ever since. That's who brought Romel in. You see what I'm saying? You see how that works? See how that works? He was around somebody he didn't even know traded. Romel didn't know he traded. He showed him some results. Hey, yeah, I'm over here with this. Romel came in. Oh, yeah, let me check this out. We have a conversation, right? Springboard that to teach the squad, teach the squad futures. So instead of me saying, you know what, we have 544 today. Hey, the best we probably gonna get is probably a 545, 546 call. What I've been doing, I take full responsibility for this is going. Hey, we go do a 549 call because I know the D minus player can't afford a 545 call or a 546 call, or even if it go up $1, they're gonna make $100-something real quick, or they're gonna make $50, $60 real quick. Then we can get out and it'll be a 50% gain or a 25% gain. No, I want their $34 to turn into 150. And so if it doesn't, right, then it's like, oh man, my 34, man. Let me tell you, I got $34,000 worth of emotions for a $34 trade. Then I do the mental gymnastics. How can I motivate them? How can I tickle their fancy to keep them motivated? How can I make them laugh? It's like my daughter, like when she gets sad, that she like, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't an ice cream truck. That was a plumber. Sorry, baby, that was a plumber. That wasn't an ice cream truck. I gotta make reality make sense to her now because in her mind, it didn't happen the way she thought it was gonna happen. Right. So now how can I go? I gotta go get her some ice cream now. So what happens is that I realize like I'm a finite source. The vets in LYMG are a finite source. You gotta allow yourself to be pushed to become an A+ player, right? You have to allow yourself to be pushed. It's been more pacifying than pushing, and I know better. I know that doesn't work. If we have a multiple conversations about you feeling the need to quit, you just got to make the decision. I'm not going to be soft anymore, or quit, right? But understand what comes with that. Understand the compound interest of what comes as a quitter. right? It's going to pay compound interest, just like sticking with it is going to pay compound interest, right? When y'all see, go back, it's in the LYMG Games chat. You go back to 2020, 2021, you will see Trail there celebrating a $7.49 gain. Gain is a gain, win is a win. But I know before Trail hit that trade, he up in the morning working now. He reading. He sent me books. I sent him books. He's listening to his motivational speeches. His mind is already right. So now it's just about progression. It's all about progression, right? But if the only time you get fed is when you show up here, right? You can become so displaced from your own success that you feel like, man, it's up to look, man, look, these last four signals ain't been hitting. Man, I don't know. And you don't know why they ain't hit. You ain't look up why they ain't hit. You ain't look up what happened in the market. You ain't look up what Powell said. And then look, because here's what an A plus team gonna do. Look up where a snafu could have been made and then bring the information back and be like, oh yeah, we all eating off the things, the discipline that Marlo does every day. We all, if you've been in these trades, have eaten off of that, right? And that came from just one of these Mindset Sunday meetings. He heard some information, he took it and he applied it, and then we didn't eat off of those trades, right? But it's how much do you contribute to your own success, right? If the time it took me to put this together, the time it's going to take me to look at the market, the time it took me to host the futures boot camp, right, with the 3-year-old in the background, and create the content. If I put in more time for your success than you did this week, do you really think that's worth $37 a month? I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not. It's not. And that's why we don't do it for the money. We don't do it to tax people. We don't do it. We do it so we can say, look, here, I'm gonna meet you. Like, I'll be a pace car for now. I'll be a pace car. I'll be the pace car for your success. But outwork me for your success. Right? Outwork me. Outwork me. And then think about something bigger than you. Think about something bigger than you, because those are the principles that are going to keep you moving forward when you feel discouraged, right? Because I've told y'all before, we've had people who be elated, make 250, 300, 400, be elated, get their first funded payout, be elated. But I always say, what? Is that enough to feed all the generations that come after you? Is that enough to feed you for the next year? Is that enough to feed your family for the next 10? Is it generational? No, it's not. So we still got to be prepared. We can't let our emotions get the best of us, even when we're up. So when we up and when we win, we got to be a good steward of those funds when we win, right? We got to be a good steward of those funds when we win. All right. So make sure you contribute to your own success. So look, double it up. Double it up this weekend. If you knew you were at 2 hours last week, like, be able to look and see, here's why I lost these trades, or here's why I won these trades, right? Here's why I won these trades. Look, I'm in the market looking for a 10x call every day. But statistically speaking, when I looked in the past 6 months, there's been, let me see, that's 120 something trading days. Let's go with 120 to include holidays. Out of 120 trading days, there have only been 12 times where the market has moved over 1%, right? 1% on SPY means $5, $5+. So going from 540 to 545, that's going to be a great day for anybody. If there's only 12 days out of 120 where the market's moved over 1%, that's when you get a 10x. That's when you get a 10x call. Why are you looking for your call to be 10x every single day? Is that emotions telling you that, or is that preparation and preparing for your own success and contributing to your own success telling you that? Which one? Is that emotion saying, yeah, I'm looking for this 25 to go to 250, and then for this 250 to go to 2,500? Which one is that? Is that emotion telling you that, or is that preparation telling you that? Let's type it in the chat. So you know what we say? All right. So look, thinking, right? Thinking about something bigger than myself, right? And communicating this two people I know that could be A players. All right, here's what we're going to do then. On those, since we know that on those days that SPY is moving like trash, it's going up $1, $2, $3, right? It's going up $1, $2, and you bought a call out the money. Okay, you didn't get much from that, right? Your call went from 27 to $34, and then it fell down to 10. And then we opened up the next day, it's at 3. Type of one in the chat if that's happened to you before, right? So instead of that, listen, I'm gonna talk to you like an A+ player, right? From here on out. Here's what we're gonna do. Instead of the frustration and me getting the messages on the side and so what here's what we're gonna do. For those days where the market is not moving like that, we're gonna start trading futures. Why? Because 10, look, a point, look, if SPY goes up $2, right? That might be 20 points on futures. And that's an 80 tick move. So we're going to get paid a lot more for the same little bit of movement. But here is how the D minus, C plus, C minus player thinks. Look, here's how you think they think. Rather than seeing as opportunity, man, I ain't even got options yet. And now we on future. It's just too much. I'm overwhelmed. It's going too fast. I don't know what to. Instead of looking at it as a solution to a problem, your feelings and what's around you and what you've normalized in your ear, right, will have you looking at the solutions to a problem as a problem. Type of got it in the chat if you got it. Like if you understand that, type got it. So we're looking at futures. A+, if I tell Trail, hey, bro, we on, hey, bro, hey, trust me, it's money over here on futures. He like, word, what's the deal? Because we done got money on Forex, we done got money on binary, we done got money on options. So if I'm like, hey, it's money over here, hey, Demetrius, it's bread over here, bro. You see how you done did that? You could come over here and do this. So on those slow days, right? And notice what else A+ players are doing, right? You go to the league, you look at the NBA, it's only 2 guys who can dribble freely with the ball on any team. There's only 2 guys with the green light. Everybody else is a role player. So guess what the A+ players are able to do? Guess what the max contract players are able to do? Add a skill to their tool belt. If a C+ player, if a C- player who is in there for defense or rebound and tries to take a 3, they getting thrown out. That's why their summer highlights look crazy. That's why they're playing against the randoms, the regular people look crazy. You want to be an A+ player around the people who in the D League, right? But now when you're in the A+ league, you ain't showed that you are capable of all that. So now you're trying to add something new to your joint. Oh, you about to get kicked out the league. Ain't nobody got time for that. Master your role. That's what the world wants you to be. That's what the world, that's how when you tell people that you're doing something new, that's how you think how your little business going? Or how your you trying that too? Man, I tried it and I ain't. You got people at work who just as miserable as you, talking about everybody, sharing the same shade room post, the same Woj bombs, the same NFL posts, the same parlays. Hey, let me just see if I could bet on the parlay, put 25 on the parlay, hit for 2,500. And I don't know nothing about nothing that's going on. Let me just see because I'm frustrated, because I'm this, that, and the third. That's how the world treats you. When you decide, hey, I'm going to fit in this box. I'm going to try to make this box cozy that they designed for me. It's already too small, but I'm going to try to snuggle in it. And I'm going to embrace it. And anybody who try to do anything outside the box, I look at them like they crazy. That's how the world treats. Anything, look, you try to do something outside of work, they're looking at you like you crazy. You should be looking at them like, you ain't happy, but you so soft, you ain't even want to make a move. You ain't even want to make a move. You just here and you just figuring out how to deal with your frustration because you that soft. You that soft. But you go ignore that until you see it in your kid. You see, like, you see what I'm saying? You go ignore that till you see it in your kid, then it frustrates you, and then you like, they had to get it from somewhere. right? So think about it, y'all. Think about it. Like we're sitting over here, we bring futures to the team, and I gotta talk about it, talk to you like an A+ player because you all are. I see it. I'm gonna speak that into you, even if you don't believe it for yourself. That's a solution for the days the market is not moving. And because you are an A+ player, guess what you can do? Add that to your toolkit, right? How does an A+ player think? Let me take what I already know and apply that over here and then learn the little bit of nuances. You already know 75, 80% of what you need to know, right? The 30, the 20 to 30% is going to be the nuances, how to work the app, how to do this, how to close out a trade, how to that. But you know the technicals already. So A+ player is going to think, okay, I got all of this over here, and I got a majority of this new thing. I just need to apply my brain to just the nuances. Oh, I know how to dribble. So when coach teach me a new dribble move, I just got to learn the footwork now. I'm not thinking that when I switch the ball from my left hand to right hand, it's gonna go out of bounds. I've already mastered that. I know how to dribble without looking at my feet. I know how to dribble and hold my head up. You see what I'm saying? Type of one in the chat if you get that. So now instead of feeling overwhelmed, be relieved because on those days where the market ain't booming like that, I now have futures where I could go and get me 50, 60 ticks real quick and I could make a cool 400 or 500 on the smallest account. I now have futures where you got to start reframing things in your brain to think like an A+ player. Does that make sense? If you're getting some value from this so far, just type yes. I want to make sure you don't think I'm just rambling. But we got to shift our mindset. We got to shift our mindset. So a C player, guess what they're gonna think? Like I said, overwhelmed. It's too much. I don't know. It's too this, it's too that. All you gotta do is switch it, and rely on the team, right? A+ players know the value of the team around them, right? People tried to paint Mike out to be the man, but guess what? Mike knew the value of Scotty. He knew the value of Dennis. He knew the value of Steve Curry. He knew the value of John Paxson. He knew the value. Yes, he was the one. He's the one who's a billionaire, right? He's the one who has all the shoes and all the marketing, all that stuff. He's the one who owned the NBA team. He got it, but he understood the value of his teammates. So when you are feeling overwhelmed, handle overwhelmed like A+ player. Ask questions. Ask a question. Drop it in the chat. Right. Get the clarity. Come get a one-on-one. One of the craziest things to me is when people struggle and you can analyze that you're struggling and you were struggling on a Monday, right? You had knowledge gaps on a Monday. So Tuesday comes. You just offer blind faith, enter a call. You might win, you might lose. But because you have a knowledge gap, I can guarantee you one thing. You're going to not steward that money properly. So if you win big on a Tuesday, Wednesday, you're gonna put that money right back in the market. So now Wednesday, don't let you win again. Bam. So now Thursday, you go put that money right back in the market. You go keep trading until you lose it. And then when you lose it, you're going to go, oh man, I don't get it. Meanwhile, A+ player, Monday, they realize they have a gap, knowledge gap. Hey, Kirk, let me book a one-on-one. Instead of trying to ear hustle out some more, seeing what else they can get for free. Because see, C- players, C players, here's what you do. You see what you can get for free. You always count the investment, how much you got to pay, instead of how much you'll get in return. See, when you're a C+ player, that's why you're not a max player. That's why you don't get all the money because you don't have the vision, right? A+ player, hey, that's somebody we can start a franchise with, right? So we see the vision before they even step on the court and what they could do, and they see the vision. So now they can see the vision so much, they sitting there helping the coach with the draft. Like, oh yeah, this player gonna do this, or this player gonna do that. If you only see the cost of something, then you go, oh well, you don't have a vision beyond the cost, right? So there's no way you'll ever get a return on investment because you're too scared to make the investment. But you'll let that job invests your time, right? So, like I said, I love you all enough to step on toes and make you realize you have the time. It's just how you decide to spend it. Because I told y'all before, this is not a glass ceiling organization. This is a community. I don't want to be the ceiling, right? I want to open up a discussion, right? I want to open up a discussion. And look, this is a party. Hey, come on in and party. But don't bring what you escaping from. It's a reason you're in this party and not somewhere else. So don't bring a mindset from somewhere else into this party when you didn't like that mindset enough to stay over there because you weren't at a party before this. So now contribute to the party, sing, dance, get you some food, get you something to drink, whatever. Have a good time, party, ask that question, get that clarity so that you can have a great time and then contribute, right? Contribute because we're going to invest in you, but don't let us out invest you in your success, right? So I'm telling you right now, if you see something on a chart, when I call a call, when I call a put, and you don't get it, ask a question. You might be helping me to slow down. I might be trying to change a pissy pull up because my daughter just waking up, and I got one hand, or I got one eye on the chart, one eye on her, one hand on her, and another hand on my phone. I'm like, okay, the news came out this, that, and the third. And you go, hey, why do we? Hey, shit, is this a good entry point? Is this the best entry point that we can get? I'm not Caesar. I'm not gonna be like, hey, yo, who are you to question me? I am such and such. I'm gonna be like, let me look. Okay. And if I got an answer, okay, let me show you why I'm gonna stay in this trade. Or you know what? Matter of fact, let's see if it dip a little lower. Let's let that second shoulder form a little bit, and then that way we have more clarity, right? That's what it's about. Steel sharpens steel. But C players think that, and I've even seen people's mindset leak out, and it's not about you, it's your surroundings. You be around C plus leaders because I've heard people say, "Oh, I don't want to ask no stupid question," but or you might have already went over this, but or you might have, hey, I don't want to step on no toes. I don't want to say, and it's like I respect it, but I don't lead with pride. You know what I'm saying? I lead for results and to help us get results, but not pride. So if you see something or if there's a blind spot that I have, please say something because I'm here so that we can get the best results and to collaborate with the team to help us get the best results. All right. That's simple. All right. And now, like we talked about, never let someone contribute more to your future than you. All right. So make your choice over here in the tip to be an A plus player. Stop expecting the money without the mindset. We got to stop doing that. That is plaguing our culture, right? I said this earlier. Shout out to one of our members. We was talking. If you go to medical school, guess what? You know how to do the surgery before you perform the surgery. Who want us? Who? You see what I'm saying? You know about the medicine before you actually become the doctor who's able to prescribe the medicine. Type of one in the chat if that makes sense, right? Trail's a teacher. He had to go to school to learn how to teach before he ever taught his first class, right? And before he ever got paid from teaching, he had to finish the degree. He had to finish the program. Fair, right? Before I go and get a job, I could be 15 years old and want a job at Bojangles. I have to at least be 15 years old to work. So I have to have the qualifications before I'm even able to show up and get the money. Is that fair? So if their system, the work system, the whatever system says you got to have the mindset before the money. We don't want a 10-year-old working here because they don't have the mindset, right? Fair. They're not mature enough. They're not big enough. It's too much. They don't have the capacity. So if the world system says you have to look, you got to be eligible to make minimum wage. You got to be old enough to be disappointed about working here. Let that sink in. You got to be old enough to be disappointed to work here. So why do we keep trying to make 10x of what we make on the job, but we don't want the mindset first? Can somebody answer that in the chat? Like, what's a real answer? Like, let's not step on. I mean, let's not, hey, get the toes out the way. Like, answer that in the chat, please. Why, when we get on our own, we get out the matrix, we off of work, and we go, man, I need the big money before I get the mindset. What are some things that lead to that? Like, let's hear some answers in the chat. I got a few I could think of, but I want to hear what the team, right? But mental programming and conditioning. But here's my question, right? How are we conditioned to do that when the world doesn't teach us that? The world teaches, hey, Marlo, we play ball, we play football. Hey, you want to get to college? First, you got to complete high school, right? You want to get in this school? Oh, you got to have the scores, right? Oh, you want to get on the field? You got to go to that combine. You want to get scouted? You got to go to that combine first, right? All of these things that we do, we got to prove before we get the results of it. Yet, when we get in our time outside of that system, I'm talking about outside of work, it's like, I need the money now before I get the mindset. Why? Because Q said it. We're thinking about our situation in the moment, at the moment, right? People want quick success and fast money, right? So here's what we do. Here's how our mind thinks. Because I would say this, we're programmed, right, to not value our own time. So we're programmed to not think through our own time. How many think pieces do you come across on your timeline? Why do they call them influencers? What are they influencing? The way you think, right? Why it's right there in our face. So we're encouraged not to think during our time. So many of us believe, ooh, I don't put 8 hours in. Let me come home and relax. And what do we equate relax with? Not thinking about getting ahead, not thinking about changing your situation, not thinking about it's let me relax. And then we cut on what? The television telling us a vision. Here's the vision. We're gonna tell you what the vision is, right? Then we scroll, right, on Instagram, IG, instant gratification. So that look, here, we're telling you, they've even gotten so bold where the algorithm tells you what to post so that you will get more attention. And it's never anything that's what? Something good for you. Like I could post something goofy and I know it's going viral, right? I can post something goofy and I know it's going viral. You're never going to accidentally end up successful doing what the world has programmed you to do. Why? Because there needs to be a working class. You see what I'm saying? There needs to be people who get paid to work so that people who get paid to think can remain thinking and don't have to do the work. You see what I'm saying? Type one in chat. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. So if you can keep falling into the traps, right? Putting emotions over the execution, the strategy, all those things. If you can keep doing that over and over, if you can keep biting that cheese over and over and over, if we could keep you on that hamster wheel, if we can keep you wanting, and here's where look, I'm standing up right now, right? I'm standing up right now. If we could keep you wanting, if we could have the ratio of your want be more than the amount of work you're willing to put in, you're always going to stay in the class, the working class. So you're going to be able to feel self righteous around people who don't want what you want, but y'all both have something in common. Neither one of y'all are putting in the adequate amount of work to make it happen because they're taxing you 25% of your time, 20% of your productive time, right? but you only charge yourself, you give yourself a discount of 5% of your time. But you want more than what they're giving you. So they're giving you less and charging you more. But when you have the opportunity to set the pace and the price for yourself, you want more, but you pay less. Type got it if you get what I'm saying. You see, type got it if you get what I'm saying. So the time is there, right? Is the intention there? Is the intention there? That's the key, right? Have you ever been in a situation where you like, I'm getting off of work and I don't have enough energy to do X, Y, and Z. So I want it so, not even I want it so bad. I want it so good. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch my diet up so that when I get off work, I have more energy. You make that investment, right? I can't tell you how many hundreds of dollars that I've spent right now in the thousands. Oh, let me get this chiropractor right. Let me get this CMOS. Let me get these vitamins right. Oh, that vitamin B12 from Nature Valley is trash. Let me get the actual raw complex joint that has this, that, and the third, and it costs a pretty penny. Let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and do that. And I was doing that before the money came in, right? I was doing that before the money came in. I was working out before the money came in. Oh, I don't need to be drinking tap water like that. Let me see what's the best water for me to drink. Let me see what's the best for da 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 da. Now things start to do what? Things start to snowball. The avalanche starts to happen. So if I tell you, hey, yeah, you tired when you get off of work, but what are you eating? Do you want it good enough that you're willing to switch your diet? Because maybe that 10 piece with the lemon pepper with the shrimp and Maybe that, maybe that got you a little, a little moving a little slow. Are you willing to switch that around? Right? Are you willing to, hey, I'm gonna do my heavier meals and before 2 o'clock. And then throughout the evening, I'm gonna eat lighter so that I got more energy. And then I'm gonna take this little such and such and such to help me relax while I'm at work. I might take a little ashwagandha or something to help me chill. And I might have some vitamin B12 to get my brain function right because when I get home, that's when it's time to invest in me. Are you willing to make that move? Yay or nay? Just type yes or no in the chart. I mean, the chat. Are you willing to do that? If you want to make 5K a month, 20K a month, 10K a month, 30K a month, are you willing to pop that vitamin B12 and then go and look at a video or write notes? Right? Are you willing to? Are you willing to ask those questions? Are you willing to book that one-on-one? Or are you still like 75? I could use that 75 for it. Or are you going to be the C plus player that got the 75, but you're gonna hope, even with a knowledge gap, you're gonna put it on the wish and the prayer that tomorrow that trade hits and then it turns into 750, or if it lose the 75, you're like, dang, now I can't even afford the one-on-one. You could have patched the knowledge gap up for only 75 bucks. But the conditioning that y'all spoke of, that we speak of, has told you that it's cool to do what, right? Don't invest in yourself. But look, when your baby needs 75 for daycare, that's out the question. You forget that's a business that somebody else started, but they made you feel like your child is the priority. So they know you're gonna have that money for your baby. They know you're gonna have that money for them. Look, here's my favorite for them clothes. You ain't gonna send your baby to the party looking crazy without some fresh clothes and all the other kids fresh. You gonna have that 75 for that. But are you gonna have the 75 as a provider, right? To put forth, plant the seed to create a better future for you and your family, right? You see the LYMG gains chat. If it was just me saying this, or if it was just me posting in there, I wouldn't have anything to say, right? I'd be like, oh, you got me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to say. But when you see everybody else posting in there, you see the consistency. It's not because they're hanging on to every single signal that I'm sending, right? is because they're A-plus players who are leveraging what? The environment. If you give 5 players and say, hey, practice is at 8 a.m. every day, and we only practice from 8 to 10. And then we got voluntary shoot around. Coach go be here at 12. And then we got look, the chef go be here till 5. The C+ players, the D+ players, the role players, guess the only time they go be on the facility? 8 to 10. And they go be home by 10:30 and have the rest of the day to themselves to not get better. The A+ players are going to take advantage of the fact that the gym is always open and somebody's always there, right? So now, hey, chef, ain't nobody else here but me. Come rebound with me. Come rebound with me. Come rebound for me while I get 500 shots up. You see what I'm saying? Is though that's the difference. The information is in the new members docs chat. It's in the Clearport exclusive information. You have access to my man's Romel, who was gracious enough out the kindness of his heart to come do that Q&A for free off the strength of a connection that he had with Austin. Because he seen somebody provide value to somebody he's cool with. So yeah, I could do that. Did I know he was who and he do what he do and how he do it? No. But off the strength of that, right? And that's what being an A+ player is about. That's what it's all about, right? So now, here's my commitment to y'all. I'm going to feed the A+ player in you. That's the only person I'm talking to. I heard somebody say something, so this next part I can't take credit for. They said, you want to deal with me, but you want to deal with me in the mindset that you currently have, which is the mindset that I worked so hard to overcome. So I can relate to you. There's something that you can see that's relatable, right? But I worked, I struggled, I cried, I went to jail. I almost went to jail again to get away from that mindset. I moved. I left that job. I said, like, no, I left the state, the town. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did whatever to not to surround myself with that. And then when I was surrounded, when I felt like I was close and I didn't really have a choice, I still was like, all right, this is my solitary time now. This is my isolation time. So I worked that hard to get away from a certain mindset, to get away from a C+ mindset, right? To get away from that. So because you can see the relatability, right? Don't try to drag me down back into that because I will have a conversation with you about not wanting you to quit. Don't let that be the topic when we talk. You see what I'm saying? Not again. You get one for free. You get one, right? But now I'm speaking to the A+ player in you. So when I'm looking at, look, it might be sometimes, y'all, I might not even call an options call going forward. I'm gonna put the futures joint in there because we can get 60 ticks on this futures. This options joint can only go up $1 or $2 today. So I don't want you even thinking that your 27 bucks is about to turn to 250, 390, right? Your 27 bucks gonna turn to $29. You see what I'm saying? And I see it. I've seen it on the charts, and I make the call regardless. I'm like, maybe if we put it out to tomorrow, we put $5 away, and maybe we get a little. Hopefully, we get a little. When I'm looking at the charts, it's going. So I'm hoping when I see. So I see what's going on. So that's me trying to appeal to the C minus, the C plus. You see what I'm saying? I see it. So instead, I'm gonna go look. It's at 545 now. Call. Price may go up to 547. Hey, Demetrius, whoever else rolling, bro. Here's what we doing. 543 call. Bam. So that delta, right? That delta just on that call alone might be $80 per dollar. So when it moves up those $2, you make 160. And you know what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to look and go, damn, that call costs 170 to get in. I only got 42 in my account. And I want you to make the decision to make up for the lack. You see what I'm saying? To how do you do that? I'm not, y'all hear me talk or whatever. I'm chill. I be chill. In real life, I don't be on no type of time, no nothing. I'm chill in real life. But what you hear is the amount of preparation I've done, right? That's it. That's it. I'm not the no boisterous. I don't do all of that stuff. I be chilling, right? I'm chill. But this is just 10,000 hours speaking, right? I get my confidence from knowing that I put the work in because I was never the natural person who just come in and take over the room and just that's never been me. So I had a choice to make, right? I'm either gonna have to deal with Pee Wee results, right? Absolutely, absolutely. I'm either gonna have to deal with Pee Wee results, or I'm gonna have to find a way and find examples of people with my personality type where they've had grandiose results. So let me see how they got there. And you know what the answer was? Put the work in. Put the work in. If you're everybody ain't Magic Johnson, right? You look at Michael Jordan. Look at him talk when he first got in the league. Talk with his eyes down, his head down. Country little dude from North Carolina. Well, you know what I'm saying? They called him Mike Jordan. Magic walk in the room. What's up, baby? It's Magic. Yeah, yeah. Everybody don't have that, right? So where Mike had to get his confidence from was the work. Oh, y'all leaving to go snort coke. I'm staying in the gym. Y'all leaving to go be with the girls. I'm staying in the gym. Oh, y'all leaving to go do this. I'm staying in the gym. And then the results that he got from putting in the work led to the confidence. He still looked down when he speak. He still wouldn't talk it much. But now they talk about the aura. That's really the work, bro. That's really the work, sis. I'm telling you. So we got it. You have the time. Now, the community, I'm telling you, this is what we're on. If it ain't, I'm looking for the best call to make the most money that day, right? And I want you to take the challenge of, look, I want you to realize, like, why I only got $42 in this account? And I want you to have a real question with yourself. Did I spend more than $42? Look, that call cost 170. What I done spent $170 on in the past 10 days, 20 days. Because if you spent $170 in the past 10 days, which we all have, that's only 17 bucks a day. It costs 30 just to walk outside, right? So why did I feel more comfortable spending it on that food, spending it on spending it on that experience? It's because I wasn't studying enough or I don't feel confident enough for some reason. Why don't I feel confident enough? Oh, because I haven't really been putting that work in like that. So now let me make a decision to go from a C player to an A player and put the work in. And while I'm putting the work in, if I got a question, let me ask the question. And if I got to take that money out to go and get a one-on-one, let me get a one-on-one real quick. Let me get my clarity so that when this situation happens, right? When this opportunity happens, I'm there, right? I'm there. Let me go ahead. When you see a futures call and then you see us just posting LYMG profits from futures, right? You're gonna be like, dang. And the only investment it costs is 77 bucks and some time. And some time. And I underpriced it on purpose just so we could see who takes advantage of the biggest asset that we have, which is time. I promise you, ask anybody in the boot camp, we could say, yo, that's 497. And people all over the world will bite and be like, yeah, let me get that. I underpriced it for the LYMG family on purpose because I don't want any barriers between you and the results. Now you gotta make the decision. This is worth my time, and I'm gonna make the time for it. Yeah, Power came on. Type of one in the chat if you watch Power this weekend. Let's be real. Type of one in the chat if you watch the shot this weekend. Type of two in the chat if you watch both. Like, let's be real. Think about it. So we'll watch that. We'll watch our game. We'll watch the draft. We'll watch this. We'll watch that. Go ahead and watch that video. right? And then get in the cycle of doing that. If you have the same question from December that you have in June, like your results, your actions are trying to tell you something. I don't have to tell you anything. I don't have to be the bearer of bad news. Your actions are trying to tell you something. You see what I'm saying? If you're just clicking enter and exit without any type of context, the best version you doesn't want that. The A plus player you doesn't want that. So I see A plus in every single one. Every single one of y'all I do. Otherwise, I would just tax and say, yeah, we're gonna tax so we can get ours. I've seen people do that. I've seen people tell me I should do that. I go, nah, I don't want no. Somebody has to make something available for the people who actually need it at a price point they can afford to get it now. Right? So now that we are at that price point, be the person, become the person who gets the A plus results, right? Because that's how we want to see LYMG grow. We want people to see the growth and the look, not only the financial growth, but just the growth overall and go, hey, you moving different. I see you, what you got going on. Oh, here, bam. And instead of them going, well, how much it costs? Because oh, that's it. Oh, what? Oh, word. I know how it felt. Dang, man, this course over here is dope. I gotta wait a year to get it. Cause I ain't never, it was a time where I never had $800 just laying around. I had to wait a year to get a course, and I just sat there watching dude content, like, man, thinking one day. And then I aspired. When I saw him, who was an A plus player in my mind, okay, I'm a I'm going to study. Check this out. I'm gonna study how he moves. Not idolize, not glamorize, not worship, not nothing. I'm gonna study how he moves. So if he's in the gym from this time to this time, God has given me the ability to learn, just like He's given him the ability to learn. Right? I'm gonna be in the gym an hour extra, and while he's driving his new car and this, that, and the third, I'm gonna be over here working on this and doing that and moving this way and moving that way and da 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 da. And still, that's somebody where I will still pay for their content. I still tap in with them and be in student mode. But I was looking at the A player and I created a healthy competition, right? And still will contribute, still talk good, still share videos, still do all of this stuff, still spend money, all of that. So I didn't create contention, still a part of the community. You see what I'm saying? And I ask you all to do the same thing. So think about it, be an active learner and be intentional with your time, energy, and effort. Because how do we want trading to make primary money for us, but we give it secondary effort, right? Why give something secondary effort that you want primary money from? Secondary effort, right? I'm not talking about spend 8 hours a day at work and 8 hours watching videos. No, no. That's not what I'm saying. Right? This is the part right here. Write this down. If I'm if I'm if I have your schedule, my schedule, a lot of us have kids, a lot of you work, whatever the case may be. Number one, you got to get intentional. If you want to get off that job, say you want to get off that job and say it out loud. Say it with your chest. Stop playing like you want to be there. Stop playing like you want to be there. Stop trying to get more promotions because now you're being greedy. You know you don't want to be there. You know don't want to stick around. Keep that seat hot for the next person who all God has given them is the ability to do what? That job is their max. That job is your floor. That job is where you settle at because you're not being who you could be. That job is supposed to be somebody's max, and you're taking that from them. So when you keep trying to climb a ladder that you don't even want to be on because they willing to give you more money, you're being selfish and you're robbing yourself. That extra 5,000 a year, you want to make that in a month. So now, if you take that effort and just come home, here's what you do. If I lose a trade, right, I'm drawing out the chart conditions, right? Look, if I lost a trade, what was the trend? Are we in an uptrend or downtrend? Did I buy or sell? If you sold in an uptrend, you already see, bam, that was first strike. All right. Now, did I enter at a good place? What was my confirmations on the technical side? Write that down. If you can't write them down, bam, strike two. Now, what did the news say? Did this match the news? Right? This matched the news. Did my technical analysis, everything matched the news. Oh, it did? Oh, it didn't? Oh, I entered before the news came out? Why did I do that? Oh, I was excited. Because I just made 1,000 on Friday. Then Monday, I came back in. I'm like, okay, I'm going to turn this 1,000 to 5. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm excited. Bam, I lost 500. Ooh, that was half of it. Is that good risk management? Absolutely not. Write these things down. That could all be from one day of journaling. What do you think is going to happen when you do that 10 days in a row? Like, just drop some in the chat. What do you think is going to happen when you do that 20 days in a row? What do you think is going to happen with 6 months worth of journaling? What do you think is going to happen? Right? And this will be available. Replay this at what time is it now? Take a timestamp on your phone and replay it. Look, go to the video, 8:19. That's what time it is. Right? This is what I do when I'm watching stuff. Oh, that's the gym. That's what I was looking for. So I just saved you some time so you ain't got to go all the way through it. If you feel that's a robbery, right? Now, there you go, Marlo, create a playbook. Because guess what? You're not going to end up making the same decisions over and over and over if you got to write them down and see the consequences of it. Right? So what if you go back and journal your last 10 losses or whatever the case may be, your last 10 wins and your last 10 losses, and you go, oh, well, in the last 10 losses, I made the same mistake on 9 of these trades. They started off in profit and I didn't close it out. And you got to ask yourself why I didn't close it out. And you know what? When you can find no technical reason that you didn't close it out, that lets you know that you are operating in what? Emotion. You wanted it to go higher because you wanted that 27 to stretch. You wanted to invest the least amount you could and make the most. It doesn't sound cute, doesn't sound pretty, but yes, that's what it is. Right? Meanwhile, A plus player just wants to be in the best position. So if I got to stay in the gym an extra 2 hours to work on this 3-pointer from 25 feet because I noticed the defense always sets up at 23 feet. So this is a free shot. If I stay here extra and work on it, guess what? I might have to lift a little bit more weights. I might have to train a little more. I might have to sleep different, eat different, right? And then I might have to get my cardio up because now I'm gaining weight a little bit from getting stronger. And I still want to be in the same shape. All of that just to be able to get an open shot, bam, that the defense don't know how to guard yet. Right? And it makes the game easier. So now you're spending less energy. How does that equate to trading? Now you put this extra effort in to do what? To make more money in less time. Now you don't have to spend much energy to make a bunch of money. The job requires us to spend a bunch of time to make money, right? And people be like, look, think about it. Oh man, I don't really be doing nothing at work. People are thinking about the amount of energy they gotta spend, but you giving up how much time and they're locking you into that pay rate. So it ain't no way that you can make more money while you doing that. That's wild. That's wild. You know, A plus don't do that. A plus don't do that. So if you don't do a lot at work, be watching these videos, take notes, be studying, put that AirPod in, right? Put that AirPod in, right? Go ahead. If you driving while you do, hey, listen to it, right? I start putting these mugs out as podcast episodes so y'all can just hear the audio. If y'all want me to do it, just say the word, I'll do it. So you could get it as audio, so that way your YouTube ain't got to keep clicking off. You go on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and listen to it. I'll do it. But guess what? The A plus players got to be the one that go to, hey, chef, can you rebound real quick? I'm trying to get some shots up. Chef ain't gonna be like, hey, yeah, man, you want me to come rebound for you? That might be awkward. You feel what I'm saying? So now, ain't nobody ever asked for something in LYMG, and I'm like, nah. Who's done that? If so, let me know. Nah, I can't give you that sauce. You gotta. There's some people who get you hyped up, riled up, just to be like, yeah, man, I can't. Like, You see what I'm saying? So now here are our principles. Let's actionable items. Patience, right? Choose the future over your feelings. Patience. Be patient with yourself. Be patient enough to get the right entry point. Be patient enough to be present, right? Sometimes thing that I've learned how to deal with now is I be so excited. Like it's times where the market's open at 9:30 and I'm in a trade at 9:31. And then I gotta go back and look, bump my feelings. I gotta go back and look. How many times did the market commit at 9:31 and then it just went that way for the rest of the day? And the data showed, nah, less than 10% of the time. So I need to be patient. I need to understand that. And let me see if that's trickling over some other areas of my life. Or let me see. You got to ask yourself, which level of sabotage are you on, right? Self sabotage are you on? It's three types. It's people who are willing to, no, excuse me, not sabotage. Which level of like disconnect are you in? One person who's willing to, destroy and bring destruction among others before they ever do it to themselves. That's the person that people don't like. That's the person that's willing to F you over so that they could get what they're trying to get, right? The second person is the person who cool with mutually assured destruction, right? That's the person who is going to, they come from nothing, they ain't never had nothing, they ain't feel like they was gonna be much. So if they get into it with you, they're gonna make sure you fail because they don't care about failing, right? And then the third person is the person that many of us here on this call are. You would rather self-destruct before you bring destruction on anybody else. So you will personally take the L before you have somebody else take it. You will personally, what they got to do with trading, what they got to do with principles, you will personally stay stuck because you don't want to ask Kirk a question or you don't want to seem like it's a stupid question. So you would rather stay where you are. You see what I'm saying? Does that resonate with anybody? Or am I just talking to myself? Right? I don't want to do this because look, you will stay stuck because you're thinking of how it's going to inconvenience somebody else. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to because I don't want to seem like I know he went over that. He probably going so I don't want to. So you're willing to stay stuck and have a knowledge gap when it could easily be filled with just 10 seconds of awkwardness that you think is awkward, right? So be patient enough to choose your future over your feelings and what you're dealing with at that moment, right? Then position it. A plus. Now we have an A plus talk. Did I enter at the best position? Yeah, we took. I want to hear it's like, yeah, we got in at 45 and the option went to 92. But we got in at 45. It dipped to 24. So we really could have bought two calls if we would have been one patient enough to wait for that dip, and then we buy two calls, right? So now just addressing that gap right there will take us from being B team to A team because now we've made money. And instead of just celebrating the fact that we made money, we're not being greedy or leading with greed. We're leading with a desire to be excellent at what we do, to be great at what we do. So we say, yeah, this 45 move went to 230, but it dipped to 24. How can I catch it? So when I go on my journal next time, right? And I go, how can I catch this move at 24? What was it about 40 when it was at 45 that made me go, yeah, enter there versus catching that dip when it's created that inverted head and shoulders at 24 and I could have got it right there and bought two. That's what an A plus team does. A plus team watches film even after they win. C minus team celebrates after they win, show up late to film or not at all. Type of one in the chat if you got that, right? So these are the type of conversations that people always talk about manifesting and things like that. Let's manifest that into the LYMG chat, into our community. Let's have those type of talks, right? Yeah, we won, but what could we do in the future next time to catch that dip? You know what I'm saying? Those type of talks is going to like keep losing away. Because now we focus on, look, we won by 20, but how can we win by 50? Man, yeah, we won by 10 points that time, but we should have beat them by 30. That's what those talks are like. All right. And then poise, my favorite, risk management, right? Excelling at risk management. This is A plus talk too. Hey, when y'all start seeing these futures trades, Hey yo, I had a 30 tick stop loss and I went and got 100 ticks. That's a 3 by 1 trade. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh yeah. Look, we got in. Look, price dipped to 25. I got in at 27. That option went to 130. Or price. Look, just simple as this. Price dipped. Price was at 34. It dipped down to 17. It ended up closing at 47. Rather than buying at 34, we caught that mug at 17. We bought 5 calls at 17. So when it went up to 47, bam, we almost tripled up. That was the dang near $300. I mean, 300% call, right? That's the type of A plus movement that we want in the chat, right? And that we want to hold each other accountable to, right? So our vets who are used to getting some money, my only challenge to you is to speak up. We do a great job now, but I know every vet because y'all have good hearts. Y'all go speak up when somebody expresses struggle. But let's also speak up and set tones on a random Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Share it. Talk a little bit of that talk. Hey, I caught this, right? Like I want to hear Austin. I want to hear Demetrius. I want to hear Demetrius catch an apple play. Hey, what made you catch that? We see it in the LYMG game. We go put the fire emojis there. But how did you see that? Because guess what? Somebody at work gonna be reading and they gonna be getting the information. So guess what now? If we done spent 30 minutes a day at work reading the LYMG chat that's giving gems, that's 30 minutes that you could clock in that you're already investing to your future. Plus what you're going to do when you go and watch the videos. So now I got the videos, bam, plus real life information that's happening in real time that showed me how Demetrius made 750 today from a call that wasn't in the group. That would lead me to an educated answer, right? Excuse me. Now I can ask an educated question. Hey, what video did you see that on? Now you come to me. Oh, here go that video. Here it is. Bam. You ain't even got to search for it, right? You ain't care about the 10-second of awkwardness. Hey, Dimitri, you remember what video you saw that on? Oh, it was the trade like a shark video. Oh, yeah, I remember we said that. Here go that video. I will send it to you directly so you ain't got to search for it because that's what A plus is about, right? When somebody wants to get better, right? You have A plus community. You don't stop them from getting better. You encourage it. So the fact that you're willing to get better, you're willing to push that car by yourself, and I see you, I'm gonna help you push the car. Matter of fact, here's a car that you could drive. What's up? You want to ride or you want to drive? Here, take this one. That's how it goes. All right. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. So finally, look, let's get it. Right. So let's get it. Let's have a great week. Let's finish out this year super strong. I'm telling y'all, look, A plus calls, A plus puts, A plus signals from here on out. If I look and see, man, we about to run into a 4 hour order block. Price is at 537. We about to run to order block at 538. I'm not calling an options play. Just so to keep the C minus people like engaged and hoping that they return tomorrow. I've been doing that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all y'all who know you're gonna be here tomorrow, whether we win a call or not. I've been doing that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call a futures joint. And I promise you, you will not find any futures joint, any futures course this quality for only $77. Right? I guarantee that you won't. I guarantee you won't find a more thorough 101 for only $75. Stop thinking C plus, stop thinking numbers. You know we're not gonna tax you over here. You know we're gonna look out. So now it's a decision to make that investment in yourself. If you need one of these, we got you. You already have all the extra information for free. But if you need to plug a knowledge void, we got you. So we got one-on-one session, 3 session bundles, and an 8 week master plan. Like where you can get mentored one-on-one for 8 weeks straight. And that's crazy. That's crazy, right? And the most the most costly one is the 8 week one. That's only 497, right? 3 sessions for 197, one single session for $75. That's literally it. So now you see, right? When I was struggling, when I was working, when I was making 1707 an hour, right, with a full 4 year college degree and all of that, it was very simple, right? I'm gonna be doing the same thing 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 10 weeks, 20 weeks from now. So I was literally focused on making money so that I could pay for the education to get out of my situation. I wasn't waiting for life to just create an opening and then I'm gonna just magically jump to the opening. Meanwhile, I'm showing that I don't move or I'm not moving with intentionality with my money, with my time. But I'm just waiting for life to open up for me. It don't work like that. Right. So I remember, dang, what I gotta eat. Okay, I'm gonna eat some tuna. I was a tuna and cracker fiend. I mean tuna and crackers. I mean salad. The Nature's Fresh. So y'all know Nature's Fresh, Nature's Promise. Excuse me. Walmart salad. That was about $4.97 for like a week worth. Go and get them $2 croutons, right? And go and put me some fake bacon from Morningstar because I needed my bacon bits in the joint, and I would eat that all week, and then lose weight, save money, stop getting my 20 piece from Hooters, lose weight, and just put X amount towards what? Towards my education. All right, I'm almost at 200. I'm almost at three. I'm almost at this. And I pay rather than hopping in on YouTube and trying to just learn for free on YouTube. Let me pay where I know I can get the information because it's gonna save me time. Right? That's something I learned from being around A plus. Yeah. All right, bet. Let me make the investment in the information and then I made the money. I'm telling you right now, when I'm focused on the A plus player in you, what I'm gonna stop doing is overcompensating, right? Because I see what you're not willing to do. So I'm telling you all, right? I'm gonna stop overcompensating because I see you're one post away from quitting. You're one distraction away from this. You're one, oh, don't let somebody in your life say something to you don't like. Then you not focused for 6 months and you're gonna hit me up in December talk about I was going through a rough time. No, used to being soft, right? But you went and got up and you went to work during that rough time, but you didn't show up for you, right? So I'm going to stop overcompensating because that hasn't been leading to you getting better results. You see? So it's gonna be love. It's always, I promise you I'm leading with love. I gotta be held accountable before God, right? To lead with love. But it's like now, look, we talk about take your leap. You keep standing on the ledge, you keep standing on the edge of this mountain, right? This is just the first leap. So now we got that wind coming a little bit, and I'm about to push you and be like, I'm gonna meet you on the other mountain. You got wings, bro. You just ain't used them yet. You got wings, sis. You can fly. I'm gonna meet you over there. You gonna have one choice. Yeah, just to fly, right? And don't fall. You don't want to fall. All right. So choose a decision. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Choose you. Choose you. Right? We're parents, we're this, we're brothers, we're sisters, we're employees. Choose you this once and understand you got somebody who literally has a genuine and pure interest in your development and you hitting your goals. Make that choice knowing that, right? Without any shadow of a doubt. Make that choice knowing that you got somebody who really want to see you do better. You got somebody when you say, "Hey, yo, I just started this account with that." I'm thinking about, "Hey, did you get that trade? Did you? Da, da, da? Oh, I hope that they. I wonder what they work they look like." Like me and Chris connected, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I know he worked at the auto shop. Like, I wonder his buddy like under a car right now, or did he see that? Cause spot moving." Like I'm thinking about that throughout the day in real time, right? So I work best with people who can make that decision to choose themselves, understand I'm with you, and that when you get it, now we two powerhouses and we can still work together. You see what I'm saying? So that's real. That's the real of it. Take all the doubt, take all the whatever you thought it was out your head. That's as clear as it gets, right? And whenever I find a solution, I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna bring it back to the team. I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna make all the mistakes. I'm gonna do this, that, and the third, and I'm gonna bring it back to the team in a way that's going to do what? It's going to allow you to leverage your time and not have to go through all the mistakes that I made. I might lose $5,000 before I bring some of y'all because all right, now I made it back and I see how to do this, and I went and got some education, some mentorship. I got it. I switched barbers for the team. I got a cool barber. I went and got a barber who's a trader, who's a futures trader. Real story. I went and got a barber who's a futures trader. So you know what we talk about when I'm in a chair? Hey man, let me tell you the best days to get on the joint. And he didn't make more money in futures than me. And guess what I do? Bring that information right back to the squad. You see what I'm saying? So understand I'm in here, I'm in it with you, but don't put me, don't put any of our vets, don't put Trail in a situation, don't put none of us in a situation where we are more invested in you being successful than you are. Stop looking at that best version of you like it's a thought or it's a possibility. Compete with the gap between who you are now and who you want to be, and compete every day to fill that gap. Nothing, all that other stuff, take care of itself. But just we got smoke with potential. Potential is an op now. Potential is an op. All right. Any questions? Any comments? All right. Look, tap if you haven't already. Tap in with the futures joint. Tap in. Tap in with futures. It's lit. It is. It's lit. Right. It's beyond lit. Appreciate you, Genesis. Appreciate you, Chris. Look, let's get it, y'all. I mean it. I'm serious. I stand on it. I stand on it. I stand on it. And I see the A+ player in each and every person here. Right? You see the same thing. You commit to that. Because when you come to the gym, I'm there. Like you come to the gym, I'm the custodian with the keys. The building already open. Just come and get shots. What you need. I'm there. All right. So let's get it. God bless everybody. Let's have a good week. And let's just build from here. Let this be the point where your momentum start and then it never stops again. All right. Everybody have a blessed night. Futures Boot Camp is 77, Eldred. 77. All right. All right, y'all. Good night. All right, Brody. See y'all in the AM. And Tierra, yes.